Hey, what's happening, you guys? This is Coach Joel, your host. I'm here with my co-host, Coach Emily, and we got a super special. Not that any of the other ones aren't super special, right?
Correct.
People
But
people tend to
near and
say
dear to our heart.
near and dear to our heart. That's a great way to put it. Near and dear to our heart. We have a graduate of the Proclivity Method. She is near and dear to our heart, not only because she is a good friend, she also was an incredible student who is now a teacher. That's what we tell. We tell everybody, you come through the Proclivity Method, you start off as a student, you leave as a teacher, you become part of the 1%. If you don't know what that is, well, come to the Proclivity Method. We'll teach you how to be part of the 1%. It always feels good to be part of the 1%. Not in okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
All right. We have a super special guest. Like we said, we have Ali on, and Ali is a Reno creative and entrepreneur who took the bold step of becoming a swimsuit designer 10 years ago, which is rad because we're in the desert, and has created incredible success with their international company called Strange Bikinis. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. She makes incredible bikinis. Ali is also a wife, a mother of two, a traveler, an explorer, and as of recent, a lover of the cold. Please welcome to the show, Ali.
It's
Hey.
me! Woo!
And the crowd goes wild.
Exactly. Thanks for having me. That was quite the intro.
Well, we like pumping people up here on the Proclivity podcast, and you're an easy pump up, my friend. What you have done throughout your lifetime and even through the Proclivity Method was incredible stuff. So you deserve all the accolades and more.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for getting me through that program and teaching me all the new amazing things.
Well, we're going to talk about all kinds of new and amazing things in this episode. Yet, before we get in there, I am very curious, for me and for the listeners, about your business. What made you want to start your business that you have today?
Well, there was a need in the market. When I moved to Reno, like you said, it is the desert, but we have all these beautiful alpine lakes. So people wear swimsuits. It doesn't matter what time of year or where they live. But I noticed that there was a need and there was a problem, a big gap in the swimsuit industry. So I decided to fill that gap with my skill set. I'd already attended design school, so it was an easy transition to start making swimsuits that catered to everybody. Now I have to be a little careful when I say that because obviously I can't make swimsuits for every single body, especially as you scale your business.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wanted to make swimsuits that made women feel empowered, feel their best, not feel ashamed of their bodies, and just feel really rad. And so creating that with the construction, the actual way that I sewed them, and also the design, I was able to do that.
You did do that. And my question is, I mean, I've started multiple businesses and there's always a starting point, right? This like, okay, I'm going to do this and it's going to get me going. And you sell your first bikini or you sell your first service or your first session. You made the first bikini all by yourself? Did you do it with somebody else? What was that first experience?
First swimsuit I definitely made by myself, and it was kind of the push to make me go to design school. So that would have been years before starting Strange Bikinis. When I moved back to Reno from Los Angeles, I honestly didn't know what I was going to do. And I really was depressed. Like I was staying in bed all day long. Until my mom kind of gave me the push in the right direction. She got me a wholesale order without any proof in the pudding to the store. And so she said,
That's
get
awesome.
on it. Get to work, girl. You got an order.
Oh,
Wow.
so cool.
Wow. Isn't it? You know, this is something that we talk about in the Proclivity Method, right? The imposter comes in and tells us all the things that we can't do. And yet the people around us are like, what? You're like the most talented, most beautiful, strongest, greatest person ever. And yet this imposter can come in and just put us in such a chokehold. And there, at times, it takes someone else to go, nope, I'm pushing you right off the cliff because you have wings. You don't think you have wings, yet you do. And I'm going to watch you fly. And it sounds like that's what your mom did for you.
Yeah. And I don't even think she realized she did that, to be honest. I don't know if she knows that she was the push. Yeah, that was what got me going. And I never stopped. Once that started, just full steam ahead.
Full steam. Well, if Allie's mom's listening right now, she says thank you for the push. You're the reason that she's so successful and has an international business. So there you go. What's your mom's name?
Cammy with a K.
Cammy with the K. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. You helped your daughter fly and then fly right to the Proclivity Method, which helps us, which is great. That's why we're here. Yes. Ali, another thing I want to touch on is incredible that you started a business. Listen, for anybody out there that's ever started a small business, it's hard work. There's a lot of fears and a lot of doubts and a lot of uncertainties. You don't know if you're going to get a paycheck. Sometimes you don't have a paycheck. I mean, it's some really tough times. So yeah, and so big congratulations to you. We love that you're on the show and you're able to talk about these experiences. But I do have a question. Cold therapy. You have an event coming up in which you jump into Lake Tahoe. Can you tell us about that event?
Yeah, we do a polar plunge. We do it every single year. It's always a charity event. This year we're raising money for Clean Up the Lake, which that organization dives down deep and picks up the trash left behind from all the visitors to the lake each year. And they also do testing and things like this on algae and stuff like that to, just learn more. So yeah, we're jumping in the lake. It's April 9th. We do it every single year. We normally do it in March, which it would have been like this week, which it would have been so hot, but we're doing it April 9th. I always say pray for snow because it's so much more fun. Emily was there the first year when it was a thing. It's so wild.
Fun.
It is such a mindset, as I'm sure you're going to talk about. It really is not hard. It's so much fun.
Yes. And cold therapy is something that we do in the program. And Allie, like a G, she was the first one to be like, "Yeah, I'll do cold therapy." And I was like, "Oh yeah, really? You're gonna do it? I'll meet you at the river in, when was it, January or December or something?" December. And Allie was like, "Yeah, I'll see you there." And I was like, "Oh, she is gonna come." And I kid you not, guys, snow on the ground. And Allie and I were walking out into the Truckee River. It was below 40. It's in the 35 to 38 degree range. And then, sure enough, right after that, then I'm seeing pictures every week. Allie's out in the Truckee River just hanging out like it's a freaking bathtub. What effects did cold therapy do for you? Like, why go back into the river? We did it one time, and then it was like you're showing videos of you like diving through ice holes.
Well, for me, it was overcoming a new challenge or a fear. Even though I wasn't necessarily scared of it, it still gave me those really fun emotions or not anxiety. What's the right word I'm looking for? Like goosebumps or it's just so fun. So getting through that and having all the right type of excitement and challenging myself, doing something new. I'm always down to try something new. And then I am pretty competitive. So
Pretty.
having you next to me, like, oh, I got, oh, she went down lower. Now I need to go down lower. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
and then I felt amazing. I mean, really, the feeling is indescribable when it comes to sitting and being still with your thoughts, your breath, taking a moment for yourself. We got so lucky, and it was serene most of the times that we went and plunged. It was just so beautiful taking that all in. And life is so busy as a mother of two and a business owner that those moments are far and few in between.
And
For sure.
and speaking to that, as a business owner and as a mother of two, your time can be limited. And when coming into the Proclivity Method, that was definitely something that you were looking to balance. Is this time with your business, with your family, with your kids, and yourself? And so, tell us a little bit about your experience going through the Proclivity Method. Did that help to bring balance, or help you to create clarity with yourself or with your family or anything else?
Yeah, as soon as I started the program, it was an adjustment just to hop on our group calls every week to set that. I'm a free spirit with my schedule. I've worked really hard to, allow myself that freedom. And so that was an adjustment. But once I got in the rhythm of that, it felt really good. And I actually loved the check-in times and times we got to speak as a group. Just learning to slow down, and the weekly reminders of all the things that you guys include in those each week. It definitely helped me, but it was a process.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
For sure.
That's that. That's why we do 12 weeks, and we continue even after that, because it is a long-term process through it.
I want to add one thing about that is
Please do.
in it, right towards the end, right when I was finding my rhythm, and especially with you guys emphasizing that, the more you slow down, the actually more that opens up for you. That's kind of hard to remember on the day to day, especially when you're toggling so many things in life. However, now I'm 2 months out of the program, and I'm finding myself there again. Is I was really stressed out last week, and what I need to do is slow down and make my meals. Slow down and eat my food. Make the food, first of all. So I was like running around eating snacks. And even though I'm choosing way better snacks, as me and Emily have been talking about, which is a great step for sure, for my mental clarity and just my overall well-being and state of mind, it's so much better when I do prepare the food and do the grocery shopping. When I skip those steps, it's almost like everything else just starts to get crazy.
Like a domino effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have control over your well, obviously your food, but if you start the week off with the going to the store, you have control of like when you can eat, and you can set your schedule.
Yeah, and that's one of the structures that we talk about in the Proclivity Method is, first and foremost, we talk about language and how language affects the way that we see ourselves and the way that we identify with ourselves. And then the next thing we talk about is structure. Like, before we even talking about nutrition, if we don't have the space to create the meals or to sit down or to slow down, we could give you the greatest, most perfectly designed nutritional input with all the science behind it, and it's still not going to happen, right? And so I'm curious, what were some of the biggest breakthroughs or biggest takeaways that you took from going through the Proclivity Method?
There's honestly so many. I think the biggest eye opener for myself was the oils, learning about the oils that, the good and bad oils that are used in the food industry. That was eye opening to me. I had no idea. I never even heard of that, never thought of it. I use that canola oil in my brownie mix. Never even thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
And
So true.
yeah,
And
It's
you're not
so
alone.
crazy that yeah, it's so crazy that that's just allowed. I think it's disturbing.
For sure.
And it's going to be a long road for me to eliminate it from my life just because it's so inundated with everything that we eat, even though I am making steps.
Right.
It's just in everything. So that was honestly so important to me out of the program. I also really loved my first one-on-one call with Joel. Like that, I tell everybody that shook me in a way that I didn't know I needed to be shook. And I would have paid the whole money of the whole program just for that phone call.
I vividly remember that first call. That is one that's going to go in the storybooks of my mind forever. It was an incredible call. And yeah, most people after that first call go, "Wow, I didn't expect this to happen."
Yep.
Well, totally. And I think a lot of people are not, they don't realize, and I am one of them, I didn't realize how much the mental side or the stress really does affect my goals, my physical goals. I've been working out at the gym. I mean, I've never been a crazy pro athlete or anything like that, but I do make it there. So to not have the results is frustrating. And honestly, looking back at my life, I could probably say it's mostly stress that I'm holding in. I didn't even know that.
Totally. Insert proclivity method.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Awareness is the key, and we talk a lot about that. Just like, hey, you don't know what you don't know until you know it, right? You talk about the oils. Talk about, I didn't know I was running at 1,000 miles per hour. I didn't even reckon that, because we get used to it. We get used to the canola oil. Your body's like, well, if you're going to feed me this, I'll just figure it out. If we're going to go 1,000 miles per hour, or, you're going to be like, oh, well, I guess we're just going to stay at this like super octane level. Yet at some point, you will find a crash. You can only run so many red lights until you get T-boned. And whether that's an external manifestation in weight gain, or we've had people with hair loss, right? Literally losing clumps of hair because their stress is so high, or weird skin stuff, or autoimmune. Being able to go, oh, snap, I should slow down. Wait a second, I will slow down. It's time to slow down. And creating that space for you is, one, honoring yourself, that you deserve that space, which can be really hard to do, particularly when you're a business owner who is serving your employees, serving your customers, and a mother and serving your kids and serving your husband. We kind of go like, oh yeah, there's another person in there. It's me. After all these other people, it's me. Have you been able to, one, bring that awareness of like, wait a second, I can treat myself? And have you been able to treat yourself more since creating that awareness?
Yes, I'm still learning balance. I think it's going to be forever a roller coaster for me, because I do really well and then I'll fall off. Whether that means, I like right now, just before we hopped on this podcast, my husband was asking me what was wrong. And I told him I was really stressed out at work. So I'm trying to manage my time better. But it just happens that way. So again, I need to slow down and focus on myself. And that goes back to just the simplest tasks of making my food and getting that time to even just break from work for me.
I totally agree. And you even just having the awareness to say, hey, I'm feeling this yellow light, right? Maybe it's a yellow light. There's some signs that are coming up and going, because too often, right, we'll just keep gas pedaling it. Just like, oh, well, that's what it is, right? It's just keep gas pedaling. And, listen, life is so short. Like when you think about it, it's like, it's gone, And it's like, do I want my days to feel like they're crushing me every day. You're going to have those days where you have the pressure, but do we want that every day?
No. And the hard thing is my children go to daycare Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I am full steam Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I try to get everything in on those days as far as workouts, errands, things for myself, hair, massage. So, and then that takes away from my work time. So I'm still learning to balance that. And then I am so lucky that I have Tuesdays and Thursdays with my kids and I do everything with them. So I'm still trying to figure out because I get tired from playing with my kids, but if there's anything I want to do, it's that.
Totally.
So yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to find the balance anytime soon, but I hope so.
I think well, you know what? I'm gonna input my experience with you. I remember our very first call. Like I said, that thing is burned into my brain. It was an incredible call. Incredible call. I'll never forget it. Yet I also remember our last call. And from the first call, right, where like there was breastfeeding going on and you were moving from room to room and the dogs were there, right? And, there was all kinds of stuff going on to our last call where you were just present. You were just there. And yes, it helps when there's not kids running around. Yet I could feel your energy of being able to go, I got this. And, I congratulate you, Ali, from where you started to where you are right now is like, from my coaching eyes, like, wow, massive change. Emily, I don't know if you have the same resonance.
Yeah. And Allie and I, we were friends. So we discussed things, years ago, and to see the change from years ago to 6 months ago till now has been huge as far as your perspective in nutrition and in taking care of yourself and putting it into your own hands. And so that's something that has inspired me. You're like, no, I will do the work. And so you come to me with questions each week that are just, I love it because I'm like, yes, she's taking the reins into her own hands. She's doing the work. And so I'm super proud of you for doing that. Whereas a lot of other people can, have that victim mentality that we talk about in the program where blame it on the outside world, blame it on some, this, that, or the other. Yet we know, and we've learned that we have so much more control than we would think. And that is something I've seen grow in you immensely. And so it's super inspiring to see that.
Thanks, Emily.
Yeah, of course.
That's so good. It's so good. I love this. This is, I was telling Emily earlier, I was like, my heart is just so full today. It's just, this is the best. This is the best. So, Ali, as a business owner and as a mom, you get the pressures. You understand the pressures. So if there's any moms that are listening right now, what would be your advice to them if they're feeling that pressure and they feel like the same things that you have felt, like I'm doing this work and I'm not getting the results? And so what would you say to them?
I would tell them to call you, which I have. This is not an ad. Biggest thing for everybody, not just moms, is nothing's going to change until you're ready for it to.
True words.
So you could be 40% committed and get 40% results. You can be 80% committed and get 80%. So until you really make that change, and I think it really goes for everything. Everybody knows you go to the gym, but if you're not really, focused in on goals, then you're not going to get there. If you really don't care, you're off eating fast food afterwards. That's like how I used to be. It was always an excuse because I didn't have enough time. So until you're committed, until you want to make the change, it's just not gonna. You got to be committed to make the change.
And what's that? Where does that motivation come to get to that commitment? Is it totally internal? Did you have like friends or family that were in your corner again, like how your mom kind of pushed you over the edge? Um, where does that come from?
Well, I'm a highly self-motivated person, so I have a lot of motivation, but I mean, to be super vain, I want to look a certain way and I want to hit certain goals physically. But more importantly than that, the program has taught me that those inner workings are more important. And as a business owner, some of those things just perfectly flowed into the business cup too, that I was able to implement with how I spoke to my employees, or maybe how I received what they're saying to me or their actions towards me. So, yes. Did I answer the question?
Yeah, you nailed it. Emily, do you have any questions for Ali or anything that you would like to highlight?
Yeah. So coming into the program, what were your expectations? And then coming out of the program, what did you get? Like you said, you talked to different people about it. Um, so yeah, what would you say to the person like, hey, yeah, like this is what I came in for, but this is what I came out with?
I think coming into the program, I had just turned 35 and come off a weekend bender in Vegas. So I was like ready to make a change. Um, and I mean, I've known Emily for a long time, so I kind of knew what I was getting myself into, but I really wanted to learn about food, the ins and outs of food, and how to prepare food better for my children, how to get my husband on board, which still is in the process. And yeah, mainly food. I think what I walked away with was more of that mindset approach of how, yeah, what I think in my head matters, which we all know surface level, right? Like it's, as you say, Joel, it's what is it? Is it woo woo?
We had a woo woo.
It's the woo woo ness, but it's so true. And even the thoughts that you have that you don't even know that you're having, you have to practice controlling those thoughts, because it really does build up to what you are going to accomplish or not accomplish, so I think that's what the biggest gain that I walked away with.
Yes. I love it. But you get the both worlds though, right? Like that is the two pieces that most people we find need is the education, the knowledge on the how-to for the food. But then how do we change our habits? And a lot of that is through the identity work, that mindset shift in our language, right?
Shift in the language, and exactly having the tools, because and I think I've realized that it's a long haul, right? It's not cut and dry.
Right.
It's the same with the physical part at the gym. I can't just go for a month, be hard for 12 weeks and expect results. I have to practice this forever. And at least years, to take the things you guys have taught me and actually learn how to cook the food or to bake, right? Like right now, I would not even know how to make a healthy version of a brownie, but I know I will get there one day.
That's right. That's right. Yes, you will. Dang right you will. Dang right you will. And that's, again, coming back to, there is no finish line. If we take away the finish line, and that's a hard thing for a lot of us hard chargers, is like, well, we see the goal, we see P&Ls, we see, right, I got to get to the goal. Yet a lot of the times we're seeing those small things, because really a business is like, wait, no, this is what I'm doing for my lifetime. I'm committing to this. So yes, P&Ls and certain goals and metrics in which we measure, sure, those are important. But really the identity that if I said to you, are you a business owner? Your answer would be,
hell yeah.
Hell yes. That's exactly what I was looking for.
I mean, too.
Hell yes. And that's the identity that we work on through the Proclivity Method is, are you a person who knows their food? Hell yeah. Are you a person who moves every day? Damn right. We start switching that identity. So it's not just, oh, I'm going to do this 30-day challenge, you hit the boot camp or do this diet and then I'm going to get these magical results that are going to last 30 days, the exact days that you committed in your mind to your identity for 30 days. But being able to take away that finish line and say, no, I'm just going to keep moving. And whether I'm walking, whether I'm running, and there might be moments where I'm running, there might be moments I'm sprinting, and there might be moments where I'm just shuffling my feet. Yet I'm just going to keep moving forward. Because sooner or later, that effort that we put in is going to compound, and it's going to get huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to say, tick away at little things, and then over time, it adds up.
It does add up. I love it. Well, Ali, we are so grateful that you put your trust in us, and we look forward to your continued success. We look forward to your friendship and being part of our community, the Proclivity community, because like we said, you are now part of the 1%. You've gone from student to teacher, and we encourage everybody who graduates from the Proclivity Method to go out and teach. And we're super grateful. We're super grateful.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is there let's go jump in the river. Is there anything that you want to sign off with, my friend?
No, just thanks for having me. I'll do anything for you guys. So
yes,
love to be on the podcast. Love to encourage people to live their happiest life and make better choices. And hopefully, you can find me on Instagram at Bikini Slanger if you want to follow me.
Now we're talking. That was the opportunity.
Good Instagram.
Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Strange Bikinis, check them out. Incredible business, doing incredible things. Not your average bikini. Okay, check.
That's right.
Check that out. Emily, anything to sign off with?
One last question. If there's anyone listening to this thinking, should I, book the clarity call or not? What would you say to that person?
Book it. Why not?
That's right. Just do it, you guys.
Nothing to lose.
Yeah, if you want to feel better, sleep better, set goals that are realistic, then book the call.
Yeah. Listen, guys, if you want results, book the call. Weird. Nothing to lose, but everything to gain. www.proclivity.co. Head to our website, click on the clarity call. You get Emily and I live for 45 minutes. We'll walk you through whatever you need. Whether you end up deciding that you want to join the Proclivity Method or not, we'll help you get through whatever you need to get through in those 45 minutes. I've done a lot of coaching. I've paid for a lot of coaches. You will not find two high-profile coaches giving away their time completely free out there. Trust me. So you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Check us out. www.proclivity.co. We'd love to be able to help you. Ali, once again, thank you so much for your time. We know it's valuable, and we appreciate you. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.